Welcome back to ciLiving. The Champaign-Urbana Theatre Company builds a vibrant community by celebrating the transformative power of theater. Joining me now to share more about their company and their upcoming production of Mean Girls are Allison Williams and Erin Tarr. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so tell me a little bit about the Champaign-Urbana Theatre Company.
The Champaign-Urbana Theatre Company was started in 1991, and their entire purpose initially was to save the Virginia Theatre that was in danger of being torn down. So that's why they were created. Yes.
Okay.
And over the course of time, over the last 30-some years, things have changed, but what hasn't changed is their ability to bring entertainment to our community with our community. So that's the core of everything is the word community theater.
Community theater, and it seems like young people as well are also involved. So can you tell me a little bit about this particular production of Mean Girls? Is it all youth or who all is involved?
So it is all youth in the cast. I think we're doing ages freshmen in high school to seniors in high school. So kind of a wide variety since we are doing the high school version. But so all the cast are children, and then all the production team are adults. So.
Okay, perfect. So it's a nice collaboration.
Yes.
And so is the show very similar to the movie? And if someone hasn't seen the movie, can you tell me a little bit of the plot of Mean Girls?
Oh, that's me. Okay. So the show, I would say, is basically a direct copy of the movie, just with like the music added in. So like, I think that the music will kind of add onto the story, and I think it's very similar. So.
And if somebody hasn't seen the movie, can you give like a, 10-second synopsis?
Okay, so this girl named Katie comes from Africa to Chicago, Illinois. So Illinois,
Yeah.
Yep. And she joins this high school. She's never been in high school. She's homeschooled, and it's just like she meets all of these people, and she meets the plastics, which I am actually Regina. So she meets up with the plastics, and it's kind of like about how she kind of morphs into someone that she's not really, just to fit in. So it's about like identity struggle and how you like change yourself around other people. So it's mostly a story about finding who you are. So
Nice.
yeah.
And then, Erin, tell me a little bit about what the audition process for Champaign-Urbana Theatre Company is like.
Specifically for the Kathy Murphy student production, it is all youth. And so depending on what show we choose, so a few years ago they did Charlotte's Web, and it was all younger kids, like elementary and middle school. And this year, doing Mean Girls, we chose high schoolers. So we spread a wide net. So we have kids from Gibson City, Mahomet, Champaign, Urbana, Monticello, St. Joe. So kids from all around the area are coming to audition for this show, which is something that makes it really unique as community theater versus their individual high school shows.
Right.
So they all get to come together. We had about 50 people audition this year. We were able to cast 27 amazing students. And a lot of the kids that didn't get cast were also like, we wouldn't mind being on tech. We would like to help with front of house. We would still like to be involved. So theater is not just about the students that are on stage. It's very much about the community coming together in a variety of ways to make this happen. So the parents pitch in, everyone comes together. The kids to prepare have to sing a song, they have to do a dance, they do some monologue. There's a lot of like calling back for different parts. So a callback is when you do an initial audition, then they're like, okay, we could see you maybe as Katie, maybe as Regina, maybe as, dancer number 2, I don't know. And so you have to keep coming back and showing them different parts of yourself before the final cast list comes out. And this year, because our kids are such seasoned professionals, they've been in many, many shows, they're all very used to that process. And we're always ready for new kids to come in and be a part of the process. So it's an ever-evolving production company, really. It's not the same kids every single time. We're always looking to add new kids in.
I really like that, and I think that is something that sort of spans the whole theater world, essentially, because I grew up doing theater. I've done theater, from being a kid, but also professionally, and it translates, and I feel like that's also a really good way, if there's a professional theater that you're looking to get into in the future, like, it's great to kind of stay involved even if you don't get cast, and it truly is that whole, there's no small parts, only small actors kind of vibe, I feel like.
100%, and that's very much push of the kindness campaign, both internally within our cast, because if you've been involved in theater, you know that there are varying degrees of how theater companies work together and how, especially high school students who are very much finding themselves, then interact in a theater space, you know. And so one of the things that they do is they have this pink microphone. And so at the end of every single show, tell them what they do.
Okay, so we started this at our very first rehearsal, and it's a pink bedazzled microphone, so it's sparkly. And every single end of rehearsal, one student gets to pick who gets the pink mic next for like displaying like good attitude, for being a good performer, like just being all around like a good person in rehearsal that day. And then they take the pink mic home, and then they bring it back the next day, and then they get to pick the next person who gets the pink mic.
So just really being intentional about helping them to recognize what does kindness look like, and how do we make sure that we are including everybody and encouraging everyone and noticing what are the good things that everyone's doing and how are people working hard and working together.
Right. And I feel like, especially with a show like Mean Girls, where maybe on stage you guys aren't super nice to each other, I like that you're building that camaraderie and being really intentional about that backstage. And if people would like to come and see it, when and where is the show?
Okay, so we are running Mean Girls at Parkland Theater June 26th through the 29th. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are at 7 p.m. and Sunday is at 2 p.m.
Wonderful. Well, hang out for a little while because I would love a sneak peek performance if you're up for it.
Of course.
So you should also be sure to stick around because Allison, who plays Regina George in Mean Girls, is going to give you a special performance of Someone Gets Hurt when ciLiving comes back. We'll return in just a few minutes.